We begin tonight's game on a dark night. As rain is falling across London, scattered April showers. And Morgan D. McCrashley, notoriously skilled private detective and sharpshooter, is returning from business overseas to his London address. You climb down out to the carriage and come up the steps to your front door. And you step inside. You see some of your post has been piling up since you were last home. With a stack of various letters and business left for you, including various requests for appointments for jobs, and also a letter in the handwriting of Cecil Abernathy, the lawyer for the London Esoteric Society. And this one has, as well as your address, in fact there's several letters to you under that handwriting, but the one that's at the top, the most recent one, has inked in red ink on the envelope, "Very important."
I open it up and start to read.
Dear Mr. McCrashley, I apologise for not being able to inform you of this in person. However, I have not been able to locate your current whereabouts, and I thought it of the utmost importance to inform you of this matter as soon as you returned to the city. You see sort of a hesitation in the pen, like it's paused on the page for too long, that the ink has spread a little. I am sorry to inform you of the passing of our fellow acquaintance and your, I believe, friend, Mr. Augustus Green, who was killed during an excursion to Reykjavik, the details of which I have not been completely informed, but I believe was in the line of society business. His private letter to you, his private letter to the society, a copy is enclosed within. And there's a few further sort of details of, I don't know, there's no actual burial plot, because his body was not returned to London, but his effects have been passed to his adopted daughter May and to the society. Yours sincerely, Cecil Abernathy.
So when he reads his letter, it's like, you know, in the line of business we are in, it can happen, but I would hope I've been there, mate. And he's addressing to Augustus Green, like he's with him. I really would have liked to been there. He closed the letter, and his package is just throw the package in the corridor, and he's closing the door and he's going right away to the society.
Okay. So it's quite a late hour. It's already dark outside by the time you arrive at the front door of the society. So you ring the bell? Do we have a doorbell? I cannot actually recall if there's a doorbell. Yes. So you ring the doorbell. The door is answered by James, the long-suffering butler of the society.
Good evening, James.
Good evening, Mr. McCrashley. Please, sir, come in. Let me take your coats. It's been a long while, sir.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I haven't been able to give more news.
No.
It seems a lot have happened since I last came here.
Yes, I'm afraid no one else is back just yet. They should be arriving back tomorrow morning, I believe. You're welcome to stay the night, if you wish.
No, I won't be a bother. I just wanted to know if somebody was there.
It would be no bother. Well, Miss Green is in, and
Miss Green?
May.
Yeah. I received a letter from our lawyer, Mr. Abernathy. So is she still up?
Yes, yes, we can show you through.
Cheers.
And you come through to the library where you see a woman in her 20s, dressed reasonably sort of wealthily, but not nearly as sort of well dressed as Maddie would have been, poring over a book, not a tome of esoteric lore, but it looks to be a dictionary. She's there lining up the words like Danielle. Sir, yeah? Wait. Do I curtsy or... Good evening. Sorry, I wasn't expecting anyone.
Good evening. Sorry if I'm bothering, but I wanted to give you my condolences. Sorry, let me introduce...
She's kind of staring at your face through all this. Like,
and
like,
he put a little
not
over.
Not entirely polite way.
And he's putting an hand out and said, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself.
You're Morgan, right?
Yeah, I'm Morgan. Nice to meet you.
May.
Yeah. James just told me. And I read about your name in the letter of our lawyer.
Aye.
So I wanted to give you my condolences because I knew Augustus.
Yeah, well, I mean, a man like him was never going to die at the age of 80 in his own bed.
No, but still.
Oh no, still, he was good to me, picked me up out of the mud and stuck me here, which I've got no complaints about. Just was the most unexpected day of my life, and I've seen some shit, so... I mean, I have observed some things.
You can speak the way you like, let's say with me. That's no problem.
Her upstairs, Miss Plum's been trying to teach me all the proper etiquette, but
Will help you. Indeed, in London it will help you.
There's just so many rules. I don't know. Like,
but if you want to be yourself with me, I won't mind. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a bit of a relief, but no, thank you. Yeah, I was just catching up on some reading. The others are. Did James tell you that they should be back from Bath in the morning?
Yeah. I mean, if it's alright with you, I think I will stay the night.
Yeah. James, get Mr. McCrashley a room. Please. Yeah. No, you're welcome to stay. It's just me and Miss Plum. She's have you met Miss Smith? I mean Elsie?
No, I don't think I met her, no.
No, she's lovely. I mean, very, she's lovely. I get compared to her. Miss Plum compares me to her a lot, and I feel I fall short in many, many ways. But
I'm sorry, Jay.
she's she's the sweetest thing. Like, she's was Miss Carter's ward.
Speaking of Miss Carter, could you tell me where she lay now?
Never found the body. I mean,
No sepulture? No sepulture made?
Pardon?
No graveyard? No grave made?
Well, she's not officially dead. I mean, everyone knows that she's dead, really. I mean, everyone here. But
let's just keep it that way then.
Yeah, I don't know the full details. But, I mean, she's gone.
Okay, let's just keep it that way then.
I guess.
We don't need the grave to remember the people, do we?
No, and I guess I don't know how many of the society disappear in ways that do leave a body behind. But the list of... You'll probably get some sort of plaque and list going on the wall. I keep hearing names thrown around, and already so many seem...
Leave a place for my name, huh?
No. Oh, not for a while yet, you hope, right?
You never know what can happen.
Exactly. Anyway, right, let's get you a room, and, well, yeah. Miss, I think it's just, I don't know if it's just Miss Smith coming back. I was told to get a guest room ready as well, so I think we've got a newcomer. Again, nobody tells me nothing.
And is everything alright with society, a part of that, finances and everything?
I mean, finances are alright. I don't exactly know the money side of things, but I hope Miss Cecil, Miss Albert, would tell us if it wasn't.
Never forget, if you really need help, I'm still there, right? I already told everyone, so if you need something.
Alright, let's get you a good night's rest.
Good night.
And as you lay your head down back at one of the society's many sort of guest and visitor and member rooms, I want you to make me a power roll, please.
Of course. Extreme success.
You get a lovely night's sleep.
Damn it.
Not the... Wait, why did I have to be so strong-willed? Nothing horrific disturbs your slumber. Your sanity is preserved. And as morning comes around, shortly after breakfast the next day, you hear the sound of a commotion outside the door as a carriage pulls up and two people arrive back at society. Elsie and Ignatius, you took the first morning train from Bath this morning. You got a handsome cab from the station, and you're just now pulling up outside the society with however many bags you travel with. I don't know if either Elsie or Ignatius travel light or have got a lot of luggage with them.
Probably a medium amount of luggage from Elsie. One of them's got art supplies in it, and then the other one's probably clothes and anything that she may have purchased from Bath.
I have triple that.
Yeah, there's a bit of, like, I'm starting to pull down this massive and ever-growing stack of bags.
It's just, why do I have so many capes? Wait, why wouldn't I have so many capes? What a foolish notion. Oh, God.
Are you moving it permanently?
What? No, this is light. This is light.
This is not light.
I'm going to choose to not respond to that.
Have you a stage packed with you?
No, this is light. Are you deaf? I said what I said.
Elsie's going to stand there actually counting out the number of cases.
That, Morgan, your room is at the front of the house, so you are a couple of stories up. You can hear this commotion going on outside in the street down below.
When you're a star, you have to pack like. I am Ignatius in Barat.
And there's no going on. The front door of the house opens and the side door, and servants come to start bringing the bags inside.
Thank you.
James
Thank you so
looks up and down Ignatius and turns to Elsie. Miss Smith, is this our new guest?
Yes, he has some circumstances that we will need to discuss in more inside.
Oh, of course. Just to inform you, Mr. McCrashley is inside. He got back to London.
I don't think I've ever met him.
Oh, in which case we should probably make introductions.
Yes, please, and I will.
Oh, I'll get Miss Green too. Okay. Come on, let me take that. Follow me, sir.
Am I? I don't know how to say this, but you are so lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just walk in.
As they're ushered inside this growing pile of bags sort of in the hallway, just like taking up space. As Morgan, are you going to greet the guests, or are you waiting for them to be brought to you?
No, I'm going to meet the guests, of course.
Okay, so as you come down, you see here in the hall. Well, I can't remember what exactly Elsie looks like, other than young.
She's slender. Not exactly tall. Maybe about 5 foot, give or take an inch or two. She looks very neat and tidy in her appearance and clothing. Brown hair, some freckles on the face.
And Ignatius, the benefit of Morgan. What does Ignatius look like? What are we seeing here?
I am 5'4". I am dressed like a magician. I have a hat that looks like one half formal hat, one half magician's hat. I have a cape. This cape is bright red. I'm wearing black. Honestly, it would look like a normal suit that you would see, but for velvet up here with various trimmings. You can tell I've spent a lot of money on clothes. And today I'm wearing a lot of silver jewelry, necklaces, rings. I look like a showman.
And from the benefit from the other direction, what is it that Ignatius is seeing and Elsie is seeing? What does Morgan McCrashley look like?
Morgan McCrashley is a little man, but you can see that he's sturdy. That is, he looks strong even when he's little. But he's dressed neatly, black pants, sort of kit, brown boots, and he has a jacket of the Black Watch. So he has a woolen waistcoat with the colors of the Black Watch. So green, blue, and black stripes, Scottish-like. And he is really disfigured on the total left side.
That's a interesting jacket or coat that you have there, my good sir.
Good morning. Morgan D. McCrashley, nice to meet you. And to answer you, the jacket is from my regiment. I'm a former officer of the Black Watch.
One moment. And I walk out and to grab one of my trunks that's being carried in, and I start opening it up. 'Cause I'm going to do something very silly. One moment.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Miss Elsie Smith. Ward to Maddie.
Maddie.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Is everything all right?
Why wouldn't it be?
I'm still not quite used to things happening with the society, but it appears that people just show up when things happen.
I received a letter from Mr. Abernathy, and he told me what happened to Mr. Green. So I wanted to see if I can help the society with something. And I just came back to London yesterday evening, so wanted
Well,
to...
I hope your trip was uneventful. Unfortunately, Mr. Green did pass in unpleasant circumstances amidst a volcano eruption. So,
Volcano. Just
yes.
answer me this. Did he die fighting?
Yes.
Then he died well. He died. I think if he wanted to die in a way, it was this way. Is this case is still open?
That case is not. We've a new case with Mr. Ignatius? Ignatius? He pronounces it Ignatius. He has been having some very difficult happenings around him due to it's quite complicated without sitting down and explaining everything. He should probably be the one to explain it. Where is he?
At this point, he seems to be rummaging around with one of his cases.
One moment. You cannot rush greatness. Aha!
Yeah,
Here we go. All right, to the parlor.
yeah, give me that look roll before anything else. I want to.
I tried.
I'm being evil. Oh, look.
Ah!
Okay, yeah, no issues yet. So you're able to. Yeah, you head through to the parlor, where. I mean, it's not long after. It's probably mid-morning by this point, so probably let's call it 11 o'clock. So there's tea, there's some Bakewell tart, and some little jam fancies.
I want to perform a trick in honor of Augustus. It was his favorite trick. I did it for him, and it convinced him to, and I quote, not make my ribs touch one another. So, without further ado, I pull out a hat, pull out my wand. Tap, tap.
Give me a roll
Tap,
of magic.
Tap, tap.
Oh, performance magic.
Yeah, that'd be a different roll. It's for a different time. Aha! yoink. There's just a grumpy looking, slightly overweight, actually very grumpy rabbit that I pulled out of the hat. This is Moonbeam. I pulled a rabbit out of tough crowd.
The
Tough
rabbit
crowd.
just looks at you with just eyes expressing hopelessness.
Whoa. You know, Augustus liked it. Guess he was more of an animal person. Though he said something about not liking snakes. Anyway, I don't know how to say this. I need your help. Need a lot of help. And I'd like to rent a room.
You won't be needing to rent a room.
I appreciate that coming from you, sir, but it is her house. You are muted.
I realized that as I said half of the second word I spoke. We will discuss that momentarily, but first, let's go. Where's the best place to have this discussion?
The kitchen, so I can get a carrot for my rabbit.
We can have this conversation in the library if you want to. I think this is the best place.
Yes, okay.
And if you want the carrot, we can ask James to have the carrot. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I remember him. James, I call out politely.
Yes, sir?
This is Moonbeam. He needs a carrot.
I
Please?
have to ask, are you holding it by the scruff of the neck or by his ears?
Scruff of the neck.
Okay.
And I have one hand on like the bottom of the legs. Moonbeam.
I will fetch him a carrot. I will also ensure that the cats remain downstairs.
Oh, and James, thanks for putting up with me the first time we met. I was not doing well.
Sir, I don't mean to be rude, but
I'm the gentleman with the cards. The cards that went flying.
Oh, yes, sorry. I must say, but that is one of the least bizarre things I have seen over the course of my employment here. I will go get you a carrot, sir. So yeah, you sojourn to the library. This room at the large room at the front of the house has a fireplace, stacks of books, all watched over by a stern gentleman in military uniform hanging above the fireplace.
This is a gorgeous place. So nice. So erudite, so fanciful, so classy and dignified.
Yes, we have.
Why am I here? I am not near. Oh God, I am trash.
In regards to the issue that he is having, Mr. Emberworth, would you please explain to Mr. McCrashley what it is that is plaguing you?
Well, I had that skin thing, but the doctor gave me a shot, and so my apologies. The other thing, yes. So, Mr. McCrashley, there's
Keeper, while he starts going into what he's the issue, I am going to at that point look through all of the books in the library to see if I can find anything on dreams. Maybe even the book that Maddie had before she passed.
Give me a library use roll, please. So as Ignatius begins to explain what his issue is, Elsie is thumbing her way through the shelves.
yes, and so I was in university, and I was enrolled but not present. You know what I mean? I was learning the real lessons of the world. Like, yeah. Anyway, so I got in with an interesting crowd, and I was always good at magic, and upper middle class boys like me don't have to learn things, and we hold one little seance, and next thing you know, we're peering into somebody's dreams, and there's some wild debauchery going on in there, and I think it's hard to like even see, even though I saw it. Might have been something like underwater, I don't know. But after that, there's like 6 of us or 12 of us. I don't really know. I was the important one. But anyway, there's this old doctor who kind of ran things, and after a while, he was like, "Oh, blah blah blah, the occult, blah blah blah, volcanoes." And I was like, "That's really weird, mate. Like, I don't want to go to a volcano. That sounds fucking terrible. There's no way that it's a good idea to go to a part of the earth where it shoots stuff at you. Because, like, I mean, just think about it. It's common sense. It's ungodly. Anyway." So then a lot of us started disappearing. Some of us died. Some of us went crazy. Some of us went crazy then died. Some of us we thought died, but they were found and they had actually gone crazy. There's a lot of variance and all that. And so, I'm pretty much the last one standing, and it feels like I'm being stalked and by something. And people dream about me, and that's to be expected, because I mean, look at me. I'm fucking gorgeous. But they dream about me in very many different contexts. I should probably write a steamy novel. But then they'll be like, "Oh, Ignatius," like, for instance, it's just the other day, like, "Oh, Ignatius," that weird diplomatic chap, nice guy. Elsie's in love with him. But anyway, yeah, so he was like, "Oh yeah, I dreamt about you getting hit by like a cart and a horse or something," and then we were walking down this horrible bridge in this horrible place called Bath, which is really ironic because boy, does that Bath place need a bath. You know what I'm saying? I'm a comedian too. I'm talented. And I mean, just look at the cape, right? And so then the horse in this buggy went absolutely crazy right where he dreamed that we would have gotten hit, and that stuff happens a lot. And so I'm not really a big fan of the dreams, and I may or may not have a cursed book. I don't know if it's cursed. It's cursed my life ever since I've had it. And I am thirsty. Do you all have any wine or brandy or whiskey or both? Maybe a beer?
I'll ring for tea when he says that, but I'm also going to hand him the book of card tricks.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it. I've read it.
Got a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm not going to reveal my tricks.
No, I don't want you to know about your tricks.
That's a lot, but proceed.
What was the name of the doctor you mentioned?
Oh, Dr. Samuel Lacey. Yeah.
Alright. You see, I put a little paper out and I start to write. You spoke about a book.
You want to see it?
Yeah. I would like to.
Yeah, all right. But it's in one of the...
It can wait. Don't worry.
Okay.
During the seance, did you use some artifacts? Like a cube, statue?
I don't know. I had been drinking for 3 days straight.
Make me... I'm going to say this is an intelligence roll to put your mind back there if you're trying to remember details. See how much you can remember. As I said, you were not in the best frame of mind at the time. So some details may have slipped away.
What type of drugs were prevalent during the Victorian era?
Laudanum, cocaine.
Opium?
Those are just the day ones. For dealing with minor maladies. They hadn't really yet classified the line of medicine and drug. Yeah. It's all a bit hazy thinking back.
I'm not going to spend the luck on it.
There was definitely Doc, you remember Arthur Walsh reading from the book? You remember the hazy faces of some other people there? You remember there was something in the center of the circle? When you try and think back to what it was, the actual... It sort of slips away through your memory, like you can't bring it into focus, whatever it was.
I think there was something in the middle. I think her name, no, his name. I think his name was Jeffrey. He was a handsome boy, very good abdomen. That's what I remember being in the middle of the table. I can't. I don't know. I didn't even care. It was just something to do. I remember what cape I was wearing.
The name of the doctor does mean something to me.
Dr. Walsh. Or...
Dr. Lacey.
Oh, the author of the book, not the doctor at the seance. Give me a... I guess a library use roll, see if you've come across any... No, it doesn't really mean anything to you. It's not ringing any bells.
Even if I spend 3 lux?
If you spend the 3 luck, then yes. There's mention of Dr. Lacey being a... Remember, he was essentially, supposedly he wrote a book about the occult and the nature of dreams, but he disappeared partway through its writing, and the book was lost. It was never published, and no one knows what happened to the manuscript. But supposedly there's a lost work out there by Dr. Samuel Lacey.
And he disappeared before Ignatius saw him during the seance.
Ignatius did not see him during the seance because
Okay.
Dr. Samuel Lacey disappeared in... let me get my timeline up. He disappeared back in, 1701.
Yeah. So...
So...
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to Ignatius. Ignatius. You sure the name of the doctor was Lacey?
Yeah, his name's all over the damn book. The guy's almost as arrogant as me, which I respect. But listen, Morgan. All right, I got to level with you. I want you to know one thing, and one thing only. If you save me, I'll reveal one magic trick. One. Not the rabbit. That's the money maker. But I'll give you one. Elsie, if you save me, I'll put a word in with that nice German boy so you two can just fall in love and be happy like you two want.
I think that I can take care of those sort of matters for myself.
No, you are horrible at them. Very, very bad. Like F- caliber. That was bad. That's painful.
I'm not sure what you are talking about.
That is literally I accept your concession and apology. Anyway, listen. I don't want to say enough about me because you can never talk enough about me, but there's got to be something. What can I do for you two? How can I help? I need to help you to help me. How can I help?
Look, I'm going to be straightforward. The last time I heard about people seeing what's happening underwater was with a statue that we recovered, that one of our members, this London Society, kept secret, slept with it under his cover, under his cushion, and started to be mad with it. Started to be really, really mad about it. It's kind of and he started to see people wanted to go underwater to discover these people, to speak with them. And he just
No, I hate the
disappeared.
water. I can't swim. I don't have any statues. Like, that sounds horrible. Like, listen,
That's-
there's nothing wrong with sleeping with fun stuff in your bed, if you know what I'm saying, but you don't put on a pillow.
No, but
That's not where
that's,
that goes.
that's why
that goes.
Mr. McCrashley, so I've had the opportunity to look through his manuscript volume, the book that was written by Dr. Lacey. It appears that this book is part of very possibly the lost manuscript that Dr. Lacey wrote. He was well, it's hard to describe, but it's thought that, well, I think that the book may possibly be a translation of some of the work from the Benedictine monks that was his lost manuscript before he vanished.
He does talk a lot about those damn monks. I don't understand what is interesting about people who all they do is pray, eat bread and water, and never get down to any hanky-panky. Like, what a horrible lifestyle that would be. I would rather eat my feet and bleed out than do that. But oh my god. Anyway, this is getting kind of boring. So how do we, like, can we get this wrapped up like in a day or two? Because on top of that, I have the other problem. I mean, those damn paintings by that Shipley fellow, that evil man.
what painting?
Oh yes. Yes, we do need to destroy those paintings.
What paintings?
Mr. Shipley, the artist that Maddie had saved, you know, the strange paintings that he made.
The one with the old lady in the one was
Yes,
guy-
you have a werewolf painting on your wall that he had painted. Yes, he was the one with the old snake lady in the house.
oh, I know these paintings.
Yes, he's asked that they be destroyed. People are apparently trying to procure them, purchase them, maybe even try nefarious ways of obtaining them. And he wants them completely destroyed.
I bought one from him.
Yeah, I remember Dr. Davenport mentioning that. So, yes, it will need to be destroyed if you can.
Do you have to destroy me too, since I'm in the painting?
You're not in the painting.
I was in one of those awful paintings.
No,
Remember?
that wasn't one of the awful paintings. That was a standard painting.
No, it was pretty awful. That boy is not talented, but like, I don't want to be in any.
I am going to get up. Follow me, please. And I am going to go to the room that painting is in.
You lead him through to the room.
Are there any? As we walk, Elsie, are there? Miss Smith. Sorry, that's how you want me to address you, and I won't be disrespectful in your house. Are there any fun places on this street?
I'm not sure what you mean by fun. This is a residential area and is quite genteel for the most part.
No, that's just what they always say, but it's never like that.
I open up the room that it's in, and I see the large painting leaning against the wall that says "Do not move. Do not look at."
Yeah, do not look at this paint. It's a painting
See?
facing the wall with a sign that says "Do not look at this painting."
See, that's how bad his painting is. It's so bad you can't even look at it.
Stand at it. I'm going to place my hand on the corner of the painting, And without looking at it, I'm going to basically drag the painting away from the wall with one end leaning on the wall. And walking back, I'm going to turn the painting so that he can see it.
Okay.
I'm not going to look at the painting.
So,
This is PvP, by the way.
so
But I'm
what
not
are
going
you
to look at
doing,
the painting.
Ignatius? Is she started to turn this painting around?
I'm going to turn around because we literally talked about how he had cursed paintings. So
And
I
I'm
just turn around.
trying to prove that it is not the painting that you saw that was cursed. It is this one.
He said that all of his paintings were cursed.
So
And
essentially,
why are you trying to curse me?
Elsie's trying to pull. You call that a cursed painting? This is the cursed painting.
Cursed painting. It was a curse. Like you want to know how I know his paintings were cursed? Because he said, "Oh no, not again," and got kind of worried when he saw me after he painted me going to the society and said, "Why can't I just make a normal painting?" And now you're trying to show me a cursed painting. Why are you so mean to me? Why would you try to kill me with a painting?
I'm not trying to kill you with the painting. I am trying to prove that the painting you saw previously is a normal painting.
No, none of
one
his paintings are normal. I'm cursed because I'm in it. It just hasn't activated its curse yet.
Well, if you would look at this one, you'd know the difference.
I don't want to look at it. It says don't look at it. So why would I look at it?
So to clarify, this conversation is being had by two people who are not looking at each other.
Yeah,
And man, you see the door, and I'm just leaning on the door like,
Can you see the painting?
no.
Everyone's just looking away.
The painting before.
Yes, yeah, you've seen the painting
He
before.
has previously seen the painting.
I believe this is the bed pyramid, the one you took? I can't remember.
No, this one was I believe this
Augusta.
is Augusta.
Yes.
Us.
The paint-
I
Yeah, so
am.
Morgan's seen this before. He's familiar with this painting of a woman sort of stepping out of the waters of the river.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Listen, other than the fact that you just tried to kill me, which I think is quite rude, I am really hurt that you would do that to me just to prove a point. And quite frankly, I think your behavior is unbecoming an otherwise decent young lady. And I would just storm off and go to my room right now, but I don't know where that is.
Mr. Amberrod.
Please call me Ignatius or Iggy if you want.
Iggy. Do you want us to help you?
Yeah, I just don't want to get hit with a cursed painting.
It's not going to be, I cannot promise you that it's going to be solved in 1 day, 1 week, 1 year. I cannot promise you anything.
Then I'll be here for a year. I just need to make ground. Like I've dodged this thing pretty well. I've always done a good job of keeping myself around powerful people, because powerful people are good at keeping themselves saved, more safe, more or less. You are the only rich people that I know where bad things consistently happen to them. So maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree, or maybe I'm barking up the right tree, which is really funny because trees have bark. I can work that into my act. Anyway, it's just rude to try to show somebody a cursed painting, and not very good tactically when the thing on it says, "Don't look at this painting," and you're like, "Look at it." Well, no, I'm not going to look at it. If you're like, "This stove is hot, lick it." First off, I'm not going to lick the stove, but I'm especially not going to lick a hot stove. Like, if you are trying to... Anyway, I'm going to storm out and I'm just going to go to room after room after room until I eventually find the one with my trunks in it.
Yeah.
Good day. And my cape goes flying.
He flounces off to find his room. Elsie and Morgan are left to sort of standing in this room with the safe and the painting.
Smith.
I am in the process of moving the painting back against the wall.
Yeah. I've seen this one before, so I don't mind. What makes you tell you that painting of Iggy was not cursed? What is the difference?
I don't know. I haven't looked. Well, I guess I should now. I'm going to take 3 very deep, calming breaths, and I'm going to move the painting again so that I can look at it.
Okay, so you are deliberately looking at the Shipley painting.
Can I stop her?
I mean, you can try and persuade her not to, or you can actively like grab hold of her. It's up to you.
Well,
Or you could grab hold of the painting to prevent me moving it, or any of those.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to prevent it, and I'm going to look you in the eyes and say, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
I think I can handle it.
It's your choice, but are you
I
sure?
understand. Yes.
And I'll let you do it then.
Okay. Yeah, turning the painting around, you see, it is Shipley's style. Not quite as good as the painting of the society. Like he's definitely improved. Like it's still a very good painting. I think if you recall, you've seen his. He was exhibiting at the sort of Royal Society when you first encountered his paintings. Like they are good paintings. If the style is slightly strange, like. At first glance, it is just what it appears to be, a picture of a woman stepping up out of the waters of the river, sort of long blonde hair damp with river water. But the more you look, the more it seems alive, it seems to be shifting. As you look at the woman, her face sort of twists and changes. Just one moment it's a beautiful young woman, the next it's this monstrous visage, this eyes don't look right. The face is this human-like horror rising up out of the waters. And I need you to make me a sanity roll, please. The more we look at this painting, the more we realise it's not just the subject matter, it's just alive in a way a painting should not be.
Do I get advantage due to my calming breaths beforehand?
No, I'm feeling mean.
Oh, well, that is a fail.
Yeah, you thought you were prepared for this. You thought you'd steeled your mind against it. And in some ways you have. Like, it's not the worst thing you've seen recently, but I still will ask for 1d4, please.
That is a 1.
You lose a point of sanity. Like you were, somewhat prepared for this. You knew you were about to be looking at something strange, but it's still unpleasant and unsettling, and very much different to the painting you saw that had Ignatius arriving at the society. That, for all its subject matter, was still just a painting. It wasn't alive in the way this one is.
I will drop it back. I will drop it back against the wall. I won't gently place it like I had previously. I will drop it back against the wall. Well, it was definitely not like that one. We need to burn this. I need a sheet. I'm going to go look for a sheet. Is there a sheet in this room, or do I have to go to the linen closets?
I'm sure you can. Probably not in this room, but in the linen closet and servant supplies downstairs, you can easily obtain a sheet. As Elsie is off looking for the sheet. Is there anything Morgan wants to do? He's standing in the room with the society safe, with the painting put back against the wall.
What I'm going to do with the painting?
I just asked if there was anything you wish to do whilst Elsie was left looking for a sheet for doing whatever she's planning next.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. It's still gonna burn, so I'm going to hit the painting and make a hole in it where the face was.
Like stabbing it through, trying to stab through Augustus' face. Yeah, as you stab the painting, so Elsie's gone looking for a sheet. Ignatius, you headed upstairs to your room. Are you just heading to your room to sulk, or is there anything else you're up to whilst you're up there?
Keeper, I believe he's having some issues with his computer. Asked if he can rejoin the call.
Okay, in which case, you know what? As Elsie's gone looking for a sheet, as we, I think, let's call this the break, and we'll be back in a minute. We are back if I would learn to hit the right buttons. So, Elsie, you obtain a sheet and you return to the study to find Morgan has stabbed the painting and sort of ripped part of it.
I am going to look at the front of the painting to see if that affected the painting.
You turn around, you see someone has ripped through the actual face of Augusta. But now her form seems to twist even further. One moment it's a woman, one moment it is this monstrous being rising up out of the water, sort of reaching out towards you. It seems that stabbing the painting has not improved the situation.
It made it worse?
It's possibly made it worse. So this whole thing sort of sends like a chill down your spine just to look at it.
I'm going to take the sheet and cover most of the painting. Is there any part of the painting the person is not in?
Yeah, there's some nice bits of water at the bottom.
Does the water look like it's still moving?
Yes.
But not in a disturbing way? Since most of the painting's covered?
As you profit by the painting, there are things in the water. There are things moving underneath the surface of the water in the painting, and the more you look, the more you can see that the very river seems alive.
Have you noticed this? And I'm going to actually get as close to the painting, that part of the painting, as possible.
I'm going to ask for another sanity roll for a close study of this painting. Like, you're really getting up close and really...
But not of the person, of the water.
Of the water, yes.
Roll
me another 1d4, as now you're here, like, actually watching the paint.
That's a 1.
There's a little shiver goes down your spine, but... Yeah, and you lose another point of sanity. As, yeah, there are things alive in this water. Things sort of strange, almost larvae, creepy, swing towards where the woman stands, but you can't see where the woman's standing currently because that's covered up. It shouldn't be moving, because it's just paint. It definitely appears to move the more you look at it. Morgan, you can see Elsie is sort of crouched down. She's studying this painting intensely now.
Don't look at it too much. You can get drowned in it.
I think I'll be fine. I'm going to touch, actually, the paint. See if it still feels like dried paint and all of that.
It feels like dried paint, yes.
Can I learn this skill?
I mean, you know who painted this painting.
And we do have scheduled classes,
Yes,
lessons.
You did arrange for some art lessons when you returned to London, yes.
Wonderful. All right, we need to tear myself away from that part of the painting. I'm going to finish covering it up. We need to burn it. Your cutting it made it worse, not better.
Could you imagine what can happen if we burn it? That's the question. That's why I stabbed it.
Well, in that case, and I'm going to go to my room where my art supplies are. And I'm going to get my paint thinner and brush. What is it? Acetone? Did they have that back?
There'd definitely be like turpentine.
Ah, yes, turpentine. That's the word I was looking for, not acetone. I'm going to look for my bottle of turpentine and a scraper.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you go to retrieve your things and head back down with turpentine, a nice, good like, palette knife scraper, and well, I don't want to assume, but what are you doing with a bottle of turpentine, a painting, and a scraping tool?
I'm going to try to remove the paint from the canvas.
You can do that, yes. You can. It's going to take some time working at it, but you can destroy this painting, scraping it away bit by bit from the canvas. And
wonderful.
Okay. So, Morgan, are you leaving her to her work, or are you hanging around?
No, I'm going to hang around.
Okay. So this takes some time, but you are eventually able to destroy this painting. How long is Ignatius going to remain sulking in his room? For the rest of the day? The rest of the morning?
Well, he stormed off, and he was sad that nobody chased after him, which just seemed wrong. And he started to feel bad, so he started drinking and snorting a lot of cocaine. But that's not fun if you're doing that by yourself. So he is bringing some cocaine and whatever beverage he found, and the first one that he found in his trunk. And he's decided to be magnanimous and forgive the murderous Elsie Smith and the at least disinterested Morgan McCrashley, and let them have some of his party favors. And he probably stumbles in and says something like, "I have the powder and the shower. What in the fuck is happening here?"
So, I mean, I'll leave it to you guys.
Elsie has the sheet that she was covering the painting with now wrapped around her skirts and dress. And she's got paint smudge, because obviously this is dried oil paint.
Yes, dried oil.
So there is paint all over the world. And hold on just a moment, I have to do a little bit of Google.
Yeah, it's like flakes of paints and just spread out all over the sheet and on the floor. Yeah, as Elsie's scraping away, try not to rustle too near the mic, I could very loud. And yeah, Ignatius, you enter the room. All this is going on. And is it this? Yes, Elsie?
All right, so the research, very briefly, the first thing that came up is that the fumes of turpentine/thinner aren't good to inhale. It can cause a headache, and some people get a kick out of it because it does make them high.
Okay.
Not most, but few people like the smell of turpentine. So,
yeah, the room stinks of turpentine.
There are better ways to get good feelings. This is a very, here, you drink this, you snort this helps with the headache too, which I'm going to need. because of this foul stuff. And you're wearing a toga? What do you people do here? Such debauchery! I knew it'd be great.
This point, when you hear the doorbell ring.
Oh. More togas?
No, not a toga. And I wipe my face like this, and I guess I get some paint on my face or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've got strings of my hair falling out of whatever my hairstyle was. No, this is the cursed painting that you refused to look at. I looked at it more than once, and it's being destroyed.
Yeah, no, I
And
definitely don't feel validated by not looking at it right now, sweaty
Elsie
lady.
is very much animated in her conversation with it. She is gesticulating everywhere.
Oh, you're trying to have a sass off with Ignatius and Barath. I have a cape.
Excuse me, James peers his way round the door. Doesn't even blink at what he's seeing here.
Don't look at the painting, James.
I never look at any of the paintings. Miss Smith,
That's good.
Mr. McCrashley, there's a young gentleman at the door. It says he's looking for the London Esoteric Society. Should I tell him to come back at another time?
You stay here.
We'll be right there.
What's his name?
He said he was a Mr. Penhew.
Does the name ring a bell?
Yes.
For
me.
Morgan? Yes, for Elsie, clearly does. Morgan, give me an intelligence check. I don't think Morgan was there last time Penhew came up. So it depends.
I don't know why you rolled twice, sorry.
Yeah, not ringing any bells from anything you've...
Okay.
No, not ringing any bells. Sorry, what was that, Mr. McCrashy? You said, wait here?
I'm going to go downstairs, see if I can help. Elsie? Miss Smith, I'll think you bathroom before you come down.
Yeah, you look like a crazed wildebeest. Anyway, snort this, drink this, you'll be better.
No, I don't. I actually push it out of my face. I'm assuming he's attempting to put it in my face. I push it away. No, I.
Miss Smith?
What was the name, James?
Mr. Penhew, Aubrey Penhew.
Oh, that nice young gentleman from the back. I'll be right down.
And yeah, so Morgan, you were descending down to the front door where you see sort of standing in the hallway is a young man, probably only about we're talking about 18 or so, like very young, dressed very well, sort of fine suit of clothes, very neat and tidy. He's kind of looking about curiously at the hall, sort of looking at the paintings and of things on display in the hallway. And when he sees you come down, he goes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Morgan D. McCrashley.
Elsie, feel free to make your way down into the scene whenever, depending on how long it takes. Aubrey Penhew. He holds out his hand to shake.
I'll shake it.
Same with Ignatius, if you're heading down. He kind of glances at your face and then sort of is like trying not. You can tell he's trying hard not to stare at you. He's like very politely looking at anything else. Sorry, is this the London Esoteric Society, correct?
Yes, yeah. Miss Smith will come by in a few moments, I think. She's...
Miss Smith?
Yeah. Miss Elsie Smith? The owner of the house, if you
Oh,
would like.
she's here?
Yes, she is here.
Right, it's a small world indeed. Very small world.
Follow me. We're going to go to the little saloon. I think it will be better for us to speak.
I sent a message, Keeper.
Yes, I will get to that. So you're heading upstairs to look for Cynthia.
And Elsie
We'll get to that in a minute.
will have pulled the sheet off and used a clean corner of it to maybe try to rub some of the paint out of her forearms, maybe looking in the mirror to see if there's any paint on her face. She'll try to remove, because she knows that paint can get messy.
Yes.
So she will try to tidy herself up a little bit, but not overly much.
Okay.
Before she heads down.
Okay, so you tidy yourself up a bit as you head down, as Morgan leads Aubrey through to the other room. Ignatius, you head upstairs to where Cynthia's room is. Or at least where Cynthia probably not in her room at this time of day. She's in sort of the drawing room, flipping her way through
Marm?
Yes. Mr. Emberath, wasn't it?
Yes, there's something very urgent. Do I have permission to speak frankly? It's about Elsie Smith and her well-being and her future as a respectable young lady.
Yeah?
She met that young man in Bath, and I think that they had a joke about taking a bath together, and I'm fairly certain the way that he speaks and talks, that he is showing up here and he is trying to bed young Elsie Smith.
Give me a fast talk roll here, please, because this is talking a load of bullshit. This is Sir, that is, a most grievous news. I will head down shortly.
Now, he's very charming and he's a wonderful liar, but that is, you have, on my good word, Marm, he is
Thank you for
here.
informing me of this. I will speak to Elsie later, but I will go downstairs
Carnal
and ensure
desires.
that this situation is properly chaperoned.
Not wearing an undershirt. He smells of alcohol, if you detect it.
She kind of looks you up and down.
Marm, I know I'm a sinner, but that doesn't mean that I can't do something good.
I will head downstairs.
He's an Oxford man. You can't trust them. They're entitled. They think their money can buy them anything and everything. Everything.
So yeah, as Elsie's heading downstairs, you come across Cynthia also heading downstairs, smoothing her skirts. Go, Elsie, I think it's best I join you for this one.
Very well. Did I get all the paint off?
Hang on, come here. Dear Elsie, how did you...
I was scraping a canvas. I'm sorry.
That'll do. Come on.
Thank you.
See what's going on. So, you enter just as Morgan and Aubrey are getting settled in the parlour. As the two ladies enter, Aubrey stands up. Miss Smith. I did not expect to see you here. I must confess this is quite a surprise. Are you affiliated with the London Esoteric Society?
Yes, it turns out I'm the inheritor.
Well, I guess this matter concerns you as well as, is it Mr. McCrashley? You are two are a member of this society?
I am, yes. Sorry.
Yes. Well, I'm here about the matter of a book that I believe is in your society's possession, which I would like to borrow.
Borrow?
Yes, borrow.
Which book?
Monsters and Their Kind. It is a 100 folio. It's about this big. He sort of starts to give quite an accurate description of the book, Monsters and Their Kind, down to sort of the colour of the binding, and quite detailed.
I know this book.
I believe it's currently on loan. with someone else. Is there a reason that you'd like to borrow it?
Yes. You see, it's rather a long and slightly strange story, but to put the book used to be in my family's possession. Before it
How
fell into
dare
the
you
society.
accuse her of theft?
Sorry, I did not see you there, sir.
You rapscallion!
I did not accuse her of theft. In fact, the book left my family's possession many years ago, whilst I believe Miss
So
Smith
you
was-
accuse her of ancient theft?
Sir, would you please let me finish my sentence?
No,
What I was
you
saying...
are uncouth.
No,
untoward.
Sir, you are uncouth. A gentleman does not interrupt another gentleman whilst he is attempting to
I'm not
explain an important
interrupting
matter.
a gentleman. I'm interrupting you, so we are in agreement.
Are you accusing me, sir, of somehow being deceptive about my position here? I'll have you know I am indeed a gentleman.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm plainly stating that I heard about you in Bath, and now you conveniently show up here, now,
Who, sir, might
feigning
you be?
ignorance.
Exactly.
I am Ignatius Imberath, advisor, scholar, master of magic. So right
You're
here
that
on my case.
magician fellow, aren't you?
Grand magician.
Oh, I don't think we had the pleasure of being formally introduced. Aubrey Penhew, Baronet Pevensey.
Ignatius Imberath, amazing magician. And I
Anyway,
twirl my mustache.
is he also a member of the society?
No, I am not. They are helping me.
Well, in which case I do not see how this matter concerns you, sir.
Well, it concerns me insofar as your villainy is untoward.
Mr. Emberward, can you let gentleman speak, because I want to know why he wants this book.
He's come here to rob you of her books and Elsie Smith of her honor. Cape up, storm out. And I chuckle as I do it.
Well, that was certainly something.
My apologies. I did not know that he was. Does he smell strongly of liquor?
What, Ignatius?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not know that he was so inebriated.
I only got 5 minutes of drinking in, so that wasn't gone that long from the
It's
painting
rather
room.
fresh. Still on his breath.
It was quality.
Well, you keep interesting company, that is for certain.
I apologize. He's here requesting assistance in a esoteric manner.
Yeah. Where was I?
My apologies. You
You
were
have nothing
telling
to
us
apologize for. Yes, the book. It was in my family's possession, and I never got fully chance to read it. It left the estate when I was a child. I only read parts of it. But what I did read was quite intriguing, and look, the circumstances in which it left the estate were bizarre, to say the least. I will not recount them for fear that you accusing me of being a madman, but to say the least, I wish to merely borrow the book to finish reading it. I will, of course, return it to you on its completion. I swear on my honor.
As I said, I believe it is currently on loan to one of the other members who's not available at the moment. As unfortunately, the contents of said book has been, and I'm going to glance briefly at Cynthia, has been proven true in some circumstances.
Oh, I know it to be true. That's why I'm interested in reading it.
How long will you be staying here in London?
Well, I'll be back up for term shortly, but I visit London a fair bit, even well, my tutors don't like you disappearing off during term time, but for a matter this important, I'm sure I can persuade them to let me off college grounds for a few days. Otherwise, well, if you're ever up in Oxford. But look, here is my the address of the Pevensey estate and my address in Oxford. If that's convenient. But I am happy to visit London. There's no hurry on this. It has wasted almost a decade. You can wait a little longer. I am in no urgency for this.
If I may, I'm still interested in something. If you know that what the book said is true, why do you want to read it? Why do you want to finish this book?
Because this book speaks of strange and wonderful creatures out there. Dangerous creatures. Things we should be wary of. And if they exist, then surely knowing about them and knowing what they are is the safer path than just remaining in ignorance. Like, how does it go? Ganta imperium est. Knowledge is power.
It is, but it can be harmful as well.
Yes, it can be harmful, but look, I think it's best to say that those who do not know are not safe. They're merely oblivious to the dangers. And look, I know half the story. I want to know the end. I want to know the rest of it.
You know that if you read this book, by knowing you will be accessing to some things you maybe don't want to. Are you aware of that?
I'm aware of that. I have seen... I saw a creature step out of nowhere, pluck up a man and carry him off goodness knows where. I have seen what these things do. I know that this isn't safe, but...
Look,
I want to know.
Look at my face now. This is what can happen, and even worse. We lost many, many people because of this book, because of what's happening out there.
You think there would have been that much danger from having read the book than from not
I
having
didn't.
read the book?
I haven't read it because I don't
Exactly.
want.
You have not read it, and still, the danger comes for you.
I'm going to turn to Cynthia Plum, and I'm going to speak
She's been sort of sat
gently.
watching this whole exchange.
I'm not sure if you want to be here for the rest of this conversation. As you can see, this is clearly of a business sort.
I think it's best if I remain here. I do not fully understand the matters of the Society's business, but, I think it's best I remain here and listen to what this delightful young gentleman has to say.
Very well, though if you feel faint from hearing anything, please let us know, and please, we'll discontinue the conversation.
Yes, I know a few words can't hurt me as long as no one gets crushed by any giant boulders. We should be fine.
Keeper,
Outside the door, Ignatius, you can hear what's being said in here.
Would you repeat that, please? I'm sorry.
You can hear what is being said in the room from outside the door.
I stormed back in. Humph!
Like, it's in.
Young man, you want to talk about books? Let me tell you a story.
Were you listening outside the door?
You're very loud. One of your many horrible traits. Anyway, so
if you are going to pose as a gentleman do not listen at doors.
sir, if you're going to pose as being a... no, I'm not going to say that.
Are you going to stop?
Anyway, my point is that a magical book ruined my life, which is why I'm here. A magical book can ruin your life. Just being around magical books can ruin people's lives. You're like, I'll have the knowledge. It'll make me safe.
Concerned for my well-being.
Are you going?
I don't like you, but it doesn't mean I want you to get eaten by a crazy lizard monster or a volcano explode on you. Or
you will excuse me.
You're excused.
Mr.
Anyway,
Ember.
I just don't want him to die a horrible death like all my friends. All my friends are dead, Elsie. They're dead because of a book. And yeah, I think he's annoying. That doesn't mean I want him to die. Doesn't mean I want everyone around him to die. It doesn't mean I want him to live a life like me, where you call or write your parents and you have to pretend that everything's okay, but you don't know if you're going to make it home the next night. I don't want that for anybody, even him.
Well, you don't need to concern me with that, sir. My parents are long dead.
Oh, I'm sure you have aunts or uncles. Don't be obtuse. You know the point that I'm making.
He does make a point. Even if he's annoying, he does make a point there.
I know
Really
this
noted.
is dangerous.
You know that the concept of that it's dangerous. How many magical books have you read? How many monsters have you killed?
I've never killed any. I have read but half of the same book that I am currently attempting to borrow.
So count yourself lucky. Nobody doubts your courage. Nobody thinks that you're not a big, strong, educated man, a fancy fellow. But these books ruin lives. All
Yes.
my friends are dead. They started dying when they were your age. I'm not that much older than you.
I will take your
One
concern
bad
under
book.
advisement.
No, you're not. You're young and strong. You're going to do what you want to do anyway. You have your ideology. You're going to pursue it. I respect it. I forged my own path. I get it. I'm just telling you that you have to hope and pray when things go sideways, and they will, that you're close enough to this house and these people so they can pull you out of the fire.
Can you tell me
Care for a
something?
drink? Would you care for a drink?
No, thank you, sir. It's a little early in the afternoon still for me.
Oh, don't be modest.
What did you learn by reading the book when you were young?
I know some of the creatures that are out there. I know they can be called upon, should your need arise, or should you wish to.
Is that what you want? Call
No.
some.
I want to know what there is out there that others may call, so that if one night I'm walking and I hear black wings in the sky above me, I know what it is and I know that it's there and I know what's coming.
What do
I
you
want
want
to
to
be
know?
prepared.
What do you
It's
want
just
to know?
gonna-
What do
Because
you
there are
want to be?
dangerous people in this world. And if one were to get on the wrong side of one of them, I want to be prepared.
Have you?
You want to be prepared by preparing yourself with the same things that make you much more likely to come across those people in the first place.
Not
Do
knowing
you
this stuff
understand?
doesn't save you from coming across these people.
You
It
haven't.
increases the chance of you coming across these people.
I may please interrupt. Do you have an issue with me, Mr. Emberath?
No, you own this place. You can do exactly what you want, whenever you want, however you want. It's
As it
yours.
seems, I am younger than him, and it turns out the book was in his possession before it was in mine.
I mean, you also, I don't know if you want to argue the trust my judgment thing, because you just spent 30 minutes staring at a cursed painting and trying to get me to look at it. So, in
That
terms
wasn't
of a
30
logic.
minutes.
Oh, well, the amount of, I just thought I lost track of time with the alcohol and the cocaine because you had a lot of pain on you and you were talking crazily. Anyway, point is that your argument's really bad and that's okay, and his arguments is really bad, and I'm still here asking you for help, so I don't want to piss you off, but I don't want you to be in the same position of me where all your fucking friends are dead. You just
Right.
buried one not that long, or had a ceremony for one not that long ago.
In
And
which
if
case,
Augustus Green can die,
look,
look at him.
I feel
He
my
ain't no
presence here
Augustus.
is bringing strife into your society that was not needed. I will
Honestly,
Oh.
I will take my leave.
it may cool the tempers of some here. Perhaps we can make arrangements for you to join the society so that you may follow what we all follow here. As that seems to be the best course of action to ensure that the information stays within a limited number of people to protect the masses. As I believe this society was created for, I look at Mr. McCrashley to confirm.
It is. And that's why I was asking if this young sir has run into problems, into strange people, because that's what we do as well. We protect those people.
He's not looking for protection. He's looking to start a fight with something and then need protection. Ass over kettle backwards. He just doesn't know it.
I do not think, much as I would be interested in further association with your society, I do not think that is a practical option whilst your friend Mr. Emberath remains here. I do not think that will be a productive association. Seems to have. So,
Well,
may I ask, for all your warnings, what exactly is your problem with me? You seem to have, even before I had presented my case to you, have taken an innocent dislike to me.
so it's just kind of one thing cascaded into the other. Elsie tried to make me look at a cursed painting to prove a point, so I wanted to mess with her, so I called Cynthia and told a fabulous lie about you showing up for some untoward carnal romantic interest in Elsie's myth. But then I came here and I started hearing you talk, and then I realized that you're an absolute, well, I have an instant dislike towards you because you remind me of me when I was your age doing the exact same things. That would probably be it. But I have money. I have friends. I can be in other places. So, one moment. James, if you would help me pack and call a carriage, I will be elsewhere. So you can help endanger these people because they're either too silly or too foolish to not help you when you're not even in danger in the first place.
Of course. James, of course, sir. Would you like some carrots to go?
Yes, Moonbeam would absolutely like some carrots.
So I will get Bo to call a carriage for you then, in that case.
James,
Or, yes?
leave the carriage where it is.
I will not get Bo to call a carriage.
Mr. McCrashley,
Listen,
it seems the
Hey, listen.
Esoteric Society is more interested in helping this man kill all of you.
do you
You're
have a
helping me and
button to
listening to
stop
wisdom.
Do you have a button to stop talking?
No, that would be a real
At
magic
this
trick.
moment, I will gesture to Cynthia and Aubrey. If you would like, we can escort you to the door, as this seems to be extremely complicated in our end.
Yes, I really apologise for bringing this trouble to your door.
I still won't.
Talk again
I
another. I guess.
Yeah, I still want to have a talk with you because I know you're in trouble and you didn't have the time to say it. So here is my card, and I give him my card. If you really need help, just leave a message there on this number.
I will do. Look, if you're serious, your society. What did you say? Your society. Look, if you're serious about the danger, watching out for the dangers of people who meddle with this kind of stuff, you need to look beyond just London.
Oh yes, we know. We've dealt with it in Iceland. We know that there are other locations that have this.
Come to Oxford.
How
There are
Very
things
well.
going on there.
how quick do you need us to go there?
As I said, these things. This isn't a new thing. This isn't. Whatever is going on there has been going on for decades. This is. He kind of glances back to the door and lowers his voice as it glances back sort of in the door direction of Ignatius. Is it? Look. There are names of people I saw on a list. Names associated with these matters. Dangerous matters. And one of these names led me to this door. John Wallace. He was the one that began so much of it. But your friend there? Maybe I think he's tangled up in all this too. There
Mhm.
was something that happened in Birmingham. There was something that
Yeah.
happened there.
I didn't leave. I literally didn't leave.
They were leaving. And then they stopped. Sorry, I thought I was getting...
God, Birmingham. There, finally, you say something useful. Listen, sunshine, apple of my eye. Just be a little bit more forthright and not like when I met these people. I was like, "Hi, I'm nice to meet you. I'm Ignatius. Mind
I
ghosts
didn't
are
come
trying to
here
eat
for your
me."
issues, and you have given me no reason to help you in any way, sir. So
I mean, I've literally tried to
For
save
now-
your life by using common sense, but okay,
If-
whatever.
look, we will talk
go
again
ahead,
when I
college
visit
boy.
next. But if you wish to know what I know, then you will treat me with some civility.
I did.
You did not.
I did.
Here we go again.
All I will say is look to Oxford. And perhaps we can talk more in the future. Now, until then, good day.
Oh, how do you spell your name?
What, Penhew or Aubrey?
Both.
Aubrey spelled the usual way, and then Penhew, Penhew.
Thank you. I see him write down the notes.
And he exits. And as he exits, sort of Cynthia looks at him and goes, "Well, I'm almost disappointed that was all Mr. Embereth's lie. A baronet could be a very respectable match for you, Elsie. You could do a lot worse."
Well, at this point,
What?
I don't think it's time to discuss potential matches.
No, of course not. If you
And
have
I glare at Ignatius.
Please, just call me Iggy. That's what you get for trying to make me look at a cursed painting multiple times. That was mean.
Iggy, if you want us to help, once or twice you will have to look at one of those paintings. We can't help you if you don't want to make your hands dirty sometimes. I don't mean you need to look at the painting now, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm just saying there will be dangerous stuff. You meddle with something something dangerous, so you will have to do some other dangerous things to solve your problem.
Mr. McCrashley, that was in a weird juxtaposition, my exact same argument towards him, and now you're making it, but everyone was mad at me beforehand. The reason why I was mad at Miss Smith isn't that, is really more so of a lack of contact and trying to make me do it without me literally knowing what the repercussions could have been. That was, and we can ask Mortimer, and I guarantee you he would agree that I was correct. So I wanted to get a little bit of vengeance because I'm a mischievous fellow. I have a cape. Of course I am. You need me to get my hands dirty, I'll get my hand. I'm more of a talker than a fighter. I'm more of a problem solver with this. See, men like you have the gift of jab, and I have the gift of gab. Elsie has her massive intellect, and Mortimer has kind of all of those things. Honestly, I'm most impressed with him. Regardless, I wasn't treated very well with that painting thing, and I wanted to feel like I at least got kind of even, and I didn't want to see another young man make the same exact mistakes that I did, because all my friends are dead. Or I'll say it another way. You're part of an esoteric society that does all of this, and I've lost more people being younger than, or being in between the ages of you, certainly younger than Mortimer. Think about that. It's arithmetic. There's no one more qualified to have told that young guy what I just did, and that's coming from a place of reality.
Now you see some anger on the face of Morgan. Young man, you don't know shit.
If
You
you knew
don't-
what I knew, you would apologize.
How old are you, mate?
27, and I've lost more people than you.
What do you know about me?
That I've lost
What?
more people than you. That
You
you're a
don't know?
killer. You're a killer, and you're a big tough man, and you're a problem solver. And Augustus respected you. He referred to you as
That's-
something along the lines as
That's
one of
just
the
your
few tough
problem.
guys.
That's just your problem. I became a killer because of a reason. And you don't know shit.
And I know I've lost more people than you.
You
Faster
don't
than
know.
you did.
You don't know
I know I
that.
did. I know I did.
Okay,
How many-
I'll let you.
how many
I'll
you
let
got?
you talk.
I think at this point we all need a break from each other. Cynthia, if you need me, I will be in my room painting. And I am going to go to my room and paint.
Okay. She exits the situation. Cynthia gives a little courtesy to gentleman and goes, I will leave you two gentlemen to it, but Mr. Emberath, if I might offer you one small suggestion. It is never wise to assume you know more about the person you're talking to than they know about themselves. Good day.
Oh, the irony. All I'm trying to do is just prevent the same mistakes that I made. And the problem with being right, especially when you're dealing with stuff like this, is that the people aren't even around this for you to say, I told you so to, because they're dead. Mr. McCrashley, I like you a lot, and I know I can be aggravating. I appreciate your patience, especially because you could, quite frankly, you could break my neck in half a second if you wanted. And I do like Miss Smith. She has a good heart, and she's exceptionally brilliant. But you all lack context, and I'm horrified that when a young man shows up and says, hey, give me this book, that your first immediate reaction isn't a visceral, oh, fuck no. It speaks to poor judgment. But what would I know? I'm just a guy with a cape. I very peacefully walk back to my room. I don't drink. I just pull open that cursed book and I just slowly read through it for the rest of the day and night. Maybe stopping to take a meal, go to the bathroom.
Okay. You've given this book a full study in the past, so you've already gained what there is to know from it. But as you read over its mentions of the strange magics and the connections and dreams, as the rest of the day winds its way into night, Elsie has gone to her room to paint. And Morgan, do you have anything else you wanted to do with the rest of the day?
No, I think for the day I'm going to leave the society, go back to my home, go through my mail because I have a lot of mail to go through, Um, go to the routine to clean my guns, my favorite ones, and yeah, maybe go back to stay the night at my home, and next day go back to the society.
Okay, so you go back to stay your night at your home, sort of going through your routine. And it's almost nightfall when there comes a knock at your door.
I have my gun in my hand, and open the door slightly with the gun on the door.
You see a well-dressed gentleman in his 30s on your step. He kind of looks a little taken aback. Excuse me, sorry for the late hour of the evening. Is this the house of Mr. Morgan McCrashley?
It is.
McCrashley. Good evening. My name is Ernest Chillingworth. I'm here about the small matter of a painting that I believe is in your possession.
What painting?
A painting by an artist known as Miles Shipley. I believe it was purchased by you some years ago.
I had one of those paintings, yeah.
Ah, excellent. I would like to purchase it from you, if you're amenable to that at all. Look, here's my card. We can discuss the financial particulars at a more convenient hour. If you'll be willing or interested in parting with it, I'm sure we can make it advantageous to you, monetarily.
Like I said, I had the painting. I will have to check if I can put my hands again on it.
Well, anyway, here's my card. You can find me at the Pacific Club on Milton Street in Marylebone.
Perfect. I will contact you then.
Good night, he said.
Right. What was the name of the person again?
Ernest Chillingworth. I'll add him to the NPCs. I've got a few people to add. I need to do some updating.
Chillingworth. Okay.
But yeah, as evening winds into night, those of you who wish to, please make me a power roll.
I failed.
Okay. So, well, Ignatius and Morgan sink into normal dreams. Elsie, you find yourself in a dream that has a sort of sharper focus than an ordinary dream. And you're back downstairs in the library of the Esoteric Society. And voices are raised. You can hear Ignatius and Morgan are arguing still. You hear Ignatius bringing accusations, claiming Morgan knows nothing of what he knows. He has not lost anything, that he has not experienced what he has experienced. And you see then something snap in Morgan. You see, like, Ignatius has stepped over a line. He's said too much, and you watch in your dream as Morgan draws his gun and just raises it and shoots Ignatius. You watch as the blood sort of splatters across the bookshelf in the library, and Ignatius slumps down to the ground. And you wake from the dream.
What time of day or night is it when I wake?
Probably the middle of the night when you awake. And just, I need you to give me a sanity roll. That was strange. That dream seemed real compared. You do lose another 1 point of sanity. The night is just trickling away, point by point. But yeah, you wake in the middle of the night. You can just hear the sounds of the house creaking around you. Let's Cynthia's sound asleep in her room next door. The servants are all abed. The rain pitter-pattering against the window.
I think I'll have a light turned on, and I will sketch out the different scenes of the dream. Them arguing, and then Morgan pulling his gun, and then the blood everywhere.
Okay. And that brings us through to the next morning as Elsie's sketching away her Yasa. They're delightful pictures. And everyone else gets a relatively peaceful night's sleep. It's up to you whether your dreams are pleasant ones or unpleasant ones.
For me, it was an unpleasant one.
As morning comes around. And
I slept great.
Yeah. You said you were making your way back to the society the next morning? Or...
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you arrive just as the other two, well, just as at least Cynthia is just finishing breakfast. It's up to you two if Elsie and Ignatius would have joined her for breakfast. Well, Cynthia and May, but they're finishing breakfast.
I would have collected my breakfast but gone back to my room out of a sense of trying to keep the peace, I suppose.
I would have had breakfast with May and Cynthia. Quite a few yawns, though.
Yes. You don't look like you've slept, says May. And Cynthia immediately reprimands her. May, you should never say that to someone. There's tantamount to accusing them of looking tired or ill. You must never say that out loud. If you must ask it, pose it as a question. Like, Miss Smith, did you have a good night's sleep?
No, I did not have a good night's sleep. I've actually had quite a nightmare wherein Mr. McCrashley killed Mr. Emberath during an argument.
Can I choose to arrive at this moment?
Yes.
He will need more than that to make me angry at this point.
I would like to arrive at as well with a little bit of egg in my mustache. Who's making who angry now?
I had a dream last night that you, Mr. Emberath, and Mr. McCrashley were in a very heated argument. You accused him of not knowing the extent of what you know in loss, in which he became angrier, pulled his guns on you, and killed you here in the library.
Well, that's horrifying because a lot of times what people dream about me comes true.
And I slap on your back and I say,
Oh, God, you are strong, man.
like I said, there will be more needed than that.
I'd rather you shoot me than hit me again. Good God, are your hands made of bricks?
Don't worry, Miss Smith, I won't kill the man.
I appreciate
Like
that.
she'd care.
In regards to yesterday, Mr. McCrashley, I understand that you are a private detective.
I am, yes.
Would you mind doing some research on the gentleman who called upon us yesterday to actually determine on if he is who he says he is, as well as his intentions regarding
The book.
well, the book and similar subjects. We are also going to need to research Oxford, as it seems that Oxford is a place of concern. In this regards, we will also need to determine a way to reverse the effects of Mr. Emberath's own If you can call it a curse, I mean, he brought it upon himself in doing things he should not have done unknowingly.
Yes.
And
Same thing as the young man
to
yesterday.
make a trip to Oxford.
It's a horrible place.
Miss Smith, I have a question. Does the name Ernest Chillingworth mean something to you?
Yes, he's the gentleman who was trying to purchase the old paintings from Mr. Shipley. And Mr. Shipley did not want him having them, and that's why we destroyed the painting yesterday.
We will have to destroy mine quickly because the man came in the night, wanted me to purchase it, and I put the card of the man on the table. This is the card he gave me.
Would you like the supplies to destroy it yourself, or would you like me to do it? I can do it the same way I did yesterday.
I will do it, don't worry. I think I have a way to do it. Mr. Emberwatt, may I ask you something for the future?
Yeah. Ask me anything. I'm an open book.
I'm going to call you Iggy like you asked me. I know you're mischievous and everything, but can I ask you one thing? If we're going on that road to help you, would it be possible to not be mischievous with the society? Because we need to stick together if we want to go on that road. We cannot have this kind of mischievousness while we are working.
All I did was send Cynthia after the young man. It is in response for some mischief aimed at me. I can promise to pick my spots better. But I like pranks.
Like I said, on our business, sometimes we cannot permit ourselves to prank. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not ordering you.
No,
I'm
you're being
asking you.
very tactful. You're being very kind, actually. Okay. I won't be mischievous regarding the society. But outside the society, you don't give a bird wings and ask it not to fly.
Have I asked that?
I'm simply having the wholesale conversation that I think you want, Mr. McCrashley.
If I can't let you fly, where is the fun in that?
I want to soar. Speaking of which, are there any rich old ladies that live on this street, Miss Smith?
I've only seen young families, but I've also only been here for a very short while. I look at May.
Yeah. There's a few. Look. Give me a day to write up a list.
Okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Assume you're after widows?
That makes it easier, but not necessarily.
Because I'm not sure we want the police knocking up at the society's door or some irate husband coming round.
Well, that's why we have Mr. McCratchley.
But I'll ask about. I mean, I will inquire of the neighbours.
Yeah, but just leave me out of it, please.
I will leave you out of it, of course.
I'd rather
James
not be
is scrapper.
directly on this street for any shenanigans he may be up to.
I will inquire about the neighbours at least 2 streets away.
Thank you.
Unless they're really exceptionally rich.
I mean, this is Mayfair. Everyone's really exceptionally rich around here.
Right, but even exceptionally rich in comparison to the exceptionally rich.
Look, Mr. Emberath there.
Iggy, just call me Iggy.
Look, up at last year, I was mudlarking on the banks of the Thames. Everyone is exceptionally rich by my ranking round here. Like, I haven't yet kind of adjusted the difference between... They're just all rich, okay?
I knew your dad for about 3 months. He was so proud of you.
I mean, you do know... Don't matter.
Yeah, he wasn't your dad, but he thought of you. He
took me in, but
yeah.
I was already, grown at that point. Like,
Right. Well, I mean, that didn't stop him from. Never mind. I won't tell you the story about he caught a young man, in his opinion, ogling at you. That young man did not have a splendid night. Did live though.
Yeah, I'll ask about it.
I've never seen someone go through a window like that. Or up the stairs. But yeah, thank you for your inquiries.
I'll ask him,
yeah. So, with that being said, I am willing to do whatever it is that you asked me to do. I would just like to avoid Aubrey Penhew, because not only is he dangerous, he's especially dangerous.
He's dangerous because he's himself in danger.
He's dangerous because he wants to keep putting himself in danger because he thinks it'll get him out of danger. That's not how that works.
We don't actually know his situation without doing the research on him. If you hadn't have flown off your handle, if you hadn't have come blazing into the room so angrily, you would have known that I would have put off his want for the book, which I was already starting to do, because yes, it is out on loan, but I did not say when it would be available. We would have done our research on him, and that would have determined if it was a good match to be given the book. The other option is to destroy the book, in which we would not
destroy the book. Never destroy the book. Listen, I suffered the sin of just trying to save the young man's life and keep the people around him safe. I don't feel the need to apologize because, objectively speaking, I didn't do anything wrong. Moreover, I know exactly who he is, precisely what he's all about. He's young and strong and confident and rich, and he has a death wish, and he thinks that if he has more knowledge, it's going to save him. If the dark thing in the sky with the wings, I want to know what it doesn't matter if you know the name of the poisonous snake that bites you and kills you instantly because you're dead. You can make the argument, well, what if it's a poisonous snake and then you get the antidote? But we're not dealing with a situation like that. You fuck with these things, you die. The end.
If I may, Iggy, if death is so certain if you mess with this, why have you bothered coming here?
Oh, well, it's simple. I'm a coward. I don't have the strength to accept my fate or face it. Simple. I'm a coward. That's why I can go back and forth with Morgan McCrashley or back and forth with Penbrew so easily and not even think anything of it, because that's easy. That's just words and bravado and logical conclusions. That's all that is. That's light work. That's just people. I'm a coward. I don't have the courage to fight these things. I didn't even have the courage for over a year to read that cursed book that I have. I'm here because if I were a better man, I wouldn't be here. But I'm not a better man. But I am dashing, and I do have a cape, and a wand, and a bunny. Speaking of which, you have any carrots?
You do realize that rabbits and other animals need more than just one food to survive properly.
Well, yeah, I have the hay and the lettuce. I don't have the carrots.
You would have been provided some vegetables for the rabbit.
Okay.
The cook would have, as well as breakfast, have also given her some
I
vegetables
appreciate
and grains and suitable rabbit food. Or,
Well, I will
maybe-
close with this, and thank you, good cook. I know exactly what I am and who I am, and it's not that impressive, only superficially. You're all the real heroes, but sometimes you have to actually listen. Sometimes the one surviving victim knows the monster better than the conquering heroes. I'll let you sort out who's who. Be upstairs doing some research myself. Thank you for your kindness. And Ignatius graciously, quietly leaves.
Okay. So, as Ignatius leaves to go his own research, Cynthia sort of breathes a sigh of relief. This man is certainly something. Interesting. Definitely will not get bored around here. I assume you have matters of your business to discuss. I will leave you two to it. It is purely business. Elsie, I believe I can trust you with that.
Yes, purely business.
Excellent.
What else could it be?
She is my chaperone to ensure that my virtue is not tarnished.
Have you seen my face?
What has that to do with anything?
No, never mind. Like if you have, she doesn't have to be worried about me. That's my. Never mind.
I'll leave you two to it as well. Got to go pay some visits around the neighbourhood. See who's got any wealthy aunts kicking around.
And leave me out of it.
I will not mention your name. Don't you worry about it. Cynthia has been saying I should be more hospitable to the neighbours, so this will be good practice.
Send my apologies if they ask for me.
I will do. So, other than setting Morgan off investigating Penhew, I can't remember what other matters you had planned in terms of investigation.
I need to find books on dreams and their effects on various peoples. I need to look up any and all books that might reference that matter. I will look first in the home library, and then I will go to any local libraries that may have that sort of information.
And Morgan, how are you beginning your investigations? What's your sort of first point of looking into things?
I think I have still contacts to the army, but when they need me to for the artifacts, so I'm going to go that road. But I think I'm going to. Do I still have an inspector at Scotland Yard?
I
who took
believe you
over.
do still have contact with Inspector Thorne. He's on not unfriendly terms with the Society. It's more of an arm's length, deal with stuff and please don't let me know about it arrangement. But he'd probably be able to furnish you with some information depending on what it is you're after. What is it that you're trying to find out?
If you could give me a hand about the name of and if he heard about something happening in Oxford.
Okay. Elsie, please give me a library roll with a bonus die for if you're spending more time on this and you're not under sort of strict time pressure.
That would be a hard success.
Okay. Morgan. Oh, this is always harder to. Should have made a private investigating a skill somewhere because. Do you feel this is more of a research library role, or is this more just of a getting in touch with your contacts sort of role?
I don't know. I think it's more like it's more like I don't know. I don't think I'd want to intimidate the inspector because that's not how it works. But like I hope with he knows about me. He knows about because I think he had a research done about me. So I would like to hope that Inspector Thorne will help me with the situation, and maybe with my spot hidden, just look at him and see if I can spot something that he doesn't want to me to know.
That would be psychology rather than spot hidden.
Yeah.
You go pay a visit to Inspector Thorne. He's like, "Oh, McCrashley, you're back. Not seen you around town for a while. What is it this time? What do I not want to know about? Or what can I help you with? Make sure I continue not knowing about whatever it is I do not want to know about."
I won't take you much of your time, but we have a little situation here. Does the name Aubrey Penhew ring a bell to you, sir?
Penhew. Not ringing any bells.
It would
Got
have.
any clues?
Apparently his family died in a few years back. I would say 10, 15 years. I won't be sure about how it arrived, but of what I could catch, it was something bad, like London Esoteric bad.
Penhew. Not ringing any bells for anything I remember being involved in. Penhew.
If I mention Oxford.
I mean, I know of Oxford. University town. Dreaming spires and all that.
And London Esoteric stuff happening in Oxford?
I mean, I'm Scotland Yard. We don't exactly cover Oxford.
Yeah, but you're an intelligent and a fine man. So I'm sure you can. If there was something strange, you could have catch it.
I mean, it's all academics up there. We're all bloody strange by my reckoning. Look, as far as I can tell, half of your society stuff seems to involve, academics and libraries and the stuff that doesn't involve things hanging around in sewers. So, yeah, if Oxford's probably got its own. I don't recall anything particularly odd in any recent times.
And do you have a contact there in Oxford I could contact and maybe ask for?
I mean, we had a case a few years back where I had to liaise with the Oxford Constabulary. Nothing along your lines of it. Just some student had murdered an academic rival and fled off to London, and I helped track him down. There's a gentleman up there. What's his name? Oh yeah, Sergeant. No, not that. Sergeant. Peters. That was it. Sergeant Peters. Can't remember his first name off the top of my head, but decent fellow. Good head on him. Seemed relatively switched on. Obviously not involved in your line of business, but
he knows a lot about Oxford.
Not to my knowledge.
But he knows a lot about Oxford.
Yeah, well, he knows a lot about Oxford, yes. Apparently, half the crimes he deals with is bicycle theft. It's just people. A lot of stolen library books as well.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, it's been a. You missed that whole brouhaha going out in East London. People just, I think the society cleared that one up, but there's all talk about giant stakes. And then apparently it was all solved by the time I sent some men to look into it. But other than that, things have been, fairly quiet around here. It's been nice. But let it long remain that way. Right?
Okay. Well. If you could, please, if you hear about something about the name Penhew, could you?
I will do. I'll pass it along.
Yeah, cheers.
But I tend to only remember people when it's a particularly gory murder or unusual circumstances. So.
But I think this one is in danger, and I want to know how much in danger he's in.
That's the Pevensey house, isn't it? Penhew.
Yeah, it is.
I think servants, disappearing servants. That's what was going on there. Some disappearances. This was years ago, though. I doubt. And then I don't remember anything about the actual Penhews. Anything bad happening to them, but there were some disappearances. If I remember rightly. Might be confusing them with a different one. I'll have a look through my case files.
Yes. Thank you. Really. And if you need me, you can always ask.
I will do. Yeah. Good to see you again. Good to see you.
Good to see you, and have a nice day, sir.
So, Elsie is digging through libraries. She is able to come across the 2 books on dreams that Maddie had previously located. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the titles were, but I will dig it out of my notes. She also would come across, in the Society Library, there in the library are a row of battered journals stretching back decades. And as you're sort of browsing through looking for dream books, you do sort of flick through. These are the journals of Sir John Wallace, the man whose death or whose involvement spurred the formation of the society by his wording of his will. And as you're sort of going through the line of journals, one thing you do notice is there are journals missing. Somebody has taken. There's a gap on the shelf. They would have been there, but they're not there anymore. Missing are the journals that would cover the years that John Wallace was studying at university. And not there.
Elsie would know which room or which room used to previously been the office.
Yes, yes.
For the house.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go look through that room and see if I can find anywhere that it could possibly have been. Maybe even a hidden spot.
Okay, looking round, the journals are nowhere to be found.
I'm gonna turn to James.
Yes, Miss Smith?
James, we're doing some research, and I seem to be missing some books. These, and I'm going to gesture to, I've pulled them off the shelf, every one of them. These were Sir John Wallace's journals, but there's a good few of them that are missing. Would you perchance know where any books that are not in the library are?
I assume if they're not here that one of the members of the society borrowed them at some point. Although, can't recall anyone taking them that I remember. But, you know, people are in and out of this library a lot. Everyone seems to decide it's a place to hold meetings.
Well, I think we should probably change that so that we can control what books are kept eyes on.
Yes, maybe Mr. Crashley or Mr. Dr. Davenport or one of the others took them at some point, borrowed them for some reason.
I'll ask them, but just in case they were not the ones to touch them, is there anywhere else in the house that, from what I understand, you worked with Sir Wallace?
Yes, I was employed when he was still around the house.
Was there any place here that he kept things that he didn't want other people to get to?
There was, but I think all those places have since been emptied. That was where he used to keep his, gonna sneeze. That's where he used to keep his, rather valuable, tomes and books, but, and anything that was there has been, long since read and found by the society. Look, how about I'll have a good search. Maybe someone borrowed them and put them away in a cupboard somewhere, or...
Yes, please, because they may be important. Even if they've, to the average person, seem trivial, they may be important.
I will start looking.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes. And he hurries off, just set about searching. While Elsie was going over the books, and you have found the books, the Dream Diary and the book about dreams in general, I believe that came from Mortimer's shop, if I recall correctly. Ignatius, you said you wanted to do some research. What is he actually doing research? And if so, what is he researching?
Yeah, his research is he's trying to actually sleep because like he had a good night's sleep, but he's so horribly behind. Like his sleep debt is insane. So he's trying to sleep because he thinks that sometimes when he sleeps, he might actually jog his memory or get something that he's repressed. Doesn't know if that's true. That's just his feeling.
Okay, so he's trying...
It's like researching his dreams.
He's sort of trying to sleep and keep his mind open
Yeah, you might think of it as like that trick where like just before you fall asleep, you say, I'm going to remember my dreams. I'm going to remember my dreams. There's some science data that backs that is working. He's kind of doing that.
Okay. I'm going to say give me a power roll. You're looking for a success in this case, not a failure. And the level of success will determine how much you can. Trying to remember the truth in your dreams, trying to think back and recall the details of that night. Is that what you're after?
That's always the one that's the forefront of his mind, but he's open to any other thing as well.
Dream, you're back in that room again, of people standing in a circle, familiar faces, in various states of inebriation. Some, like you, are here for the sort of, it's a fun, amusing thing, this sound. Some are taking it more seriously. You can see Arthur has the book in his hands and is reading from it, intoning one of the passages that was mentioned in the matter of the disappearing monks. This rite, this ritual, this sharing of minds, this shared experience. And everyone else sort of gathers around, and there is something in the centre of that circle. There is an object there. It's hard to draw your focus to it, hard to look at it directly. But as you do, as your eyes turn to it, you see it's definitely a sculpture, a statuette of some form. There was definitely something there in the middle. You remember Arthur placing it there. You remember him saying something. The words sort of slip through your mind. It's like trying to hold a handful of sand. He heard it from a friend. Someone gave it to him. It was a name. The name, you can't remember it, you can't quite recall. It was too long ago. Too much happened that night. And you're back in the moment. Whatever it was, the statuette in the middle of the circle, Arthur reading from the book. Sense as something did connect. Your minds for an instant were connected. Not just with each other, but with something else. You felt it there. This presence. This sense of something from the darkness looking back at you. You're watching as your minds, as your dreams and your thoughts merged into one. Whatever it was saw you, all of you, and took notice. And you got a sense from it, a sense of want, a sense of hunger, but also something inviting, as though it was reaching out its arms to you, inviting you to join it. And do you feel that sense now? You could join it. It would be very simple. That would be the solution to all your problems. No more dreams.
I want to try to speak to it.
No more fear, no more worry. Just open your arms to it and join it.
I don't open my arms to it, but I say, what do you want with me? I'm just a magician.
Join us.
Who are you? Who are you?
We are you. Join us.
I need a name.
Join us. And I need a sanity roll from you, please.
Oh, I feel like we all knew that one was coming.
You only lose 1 point of sanity as you awake from this dream. Those words still whispered in your ear.
Did I see anything, or did I only hear it?
You didn't see anything, you just heard it and felt its presence. that sense of being watched, like if you know someone's looking at you and you can't see them, but magnified 100-fold. This vast presence that night took notice of you.
Do I feel like it took more notice of me than others?
Of all of you. All of you in that circle. It took notice of you all.
Took notice of all of us.
Perhaps you least of all.
Ah.
You
Great,
are,
so now it's
after
just trying to
all, the
collect
only
me.
one left. Yet you awake from the
Intrigued.
dream.
Well, what time is it?
Probably the early hours of the morning, like 2 a.m.
I think I go to the library to see if it's open.
I don't think the Society has a lock on the library door, which is the root of some of the recent issues. So I think if you're inside the house, you can get into the library, currently.
Okay.
Maybe that will change.
I go to the library. I take out some pen, some paper, and I write down every last little detail that I have of that dream and that I had of that night. And then at the bottom of it, I write, "You can't forget." Next to "You can't forget," I sign it, I date it, I fold up the piece of paper, I put it in my pocket, and I go back to bed. I don't sleep, but I think I spend the night saying the names of all of my friends who are either dead, disappeared, or insane.
Okay. And I think that is where we will draw to a close for today.